In this week's episode, we take a look at a whole host of Nintendo announcements from their recent Nintendo Direct. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Barry, and this is episode 85 of the Retro Gaming Dads podcast, the podcast for everything retro and retro-inspired. Really quickly, before we get into Nintendo Direct, what have you been playing this week?
A couple of bits, but most notably, we both picked up a game called Mass Builder on Steam, which we're both really enjoying.
I think we actually picked that up just because it's a good-looking mech game that's in early access, and it was on the back of the disappointment that was the Armored Core announcement from last week.
Yeah, that was a massive disappointment, but Mass Builder it's a dream for me, okay, because I can make my Gundam, which you know I've made a Gundam in that game, and I spent just about an hour last week just decorating my mech. And I keep going back to decorating, and I have to stop myself because I know I'll get lost in it. But the game itself is a great game. Despite being in early access, we know there's different tweaks to be done, but it's a great game so far.
Yeah. I just hope there's plenty of content for it, whether or not it's now or in the future.
Well, exactly. So far, we've got quite a lot. Except I don't enjoy the amount of talking there is. I end up skipping sometimes.
Talking more? The bits where just mash A and skip it all.
Yeah. Oh, so it's not just me. Yeah. I just mash.
I have no idea what's going on in the plot.
I have no idea. I just know I'm going in, killing things, get out of there.
No, it's a pretty cool game. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Although it has given me yet another reason to start playing a game on my Steam Deck since my laptop doesn't play it the best.
Well, you've brought it into work a couple of times for us to play. So on our lunch, you'll play during your lunch and I'll play on your account during my lunch as well to get you money.
Yeah, because I brought it back and I went to play my character and I went, what the hell is this loadout?
You're welcome.
I thought, oh, right, okay, abort, switch to a proper mech, not the one Anthony made.
At least it was a different mech though, not your original one that I changed.
Yeah. You played anything else, or is that what's been dominating last week?
No, that's what's been dominating. I'm trying to think, but no, it has just been that.
Same here, that's all I've been playing. Well, before we get on to Nintendo Direct, as always, we'd like to say a massive thank you to our 2 Patreon subscribers.
Yes, thank you very much, Short Gizmo and Bobby Socks. Again, support, always greatly appreciated. Keep helping us, please. Now, there was a lot of games at this Nintendo Direct. I actually believe there was about 38. Yeah, I think a lot's an understatement for this one, especially for the caliber of games as well that have been announced. There weren't 38 small ones. There were significant games.
Yeah, they all varied in scope and size. But the thing is, it was 38 titles, I believe, and it was only 40 minutes long. This was almost one title a minute.
Oh, flipping heck. Do you know, it did feel like it. Every time you looked down, something else came up.
Oh yeah, trying to write notes of this, I was like, oh, game 1, and then start typing it, look up and go, hang on, that's a completely different game now.
Yeah.
So with so many titles, should we go into a quick fire round of some of the highlights from the first part of it?
Yeah, we'll do our best to keep it short, sweet, and to the point.
First up, Pikmin 4. Bit of a surprise.
Yes, so this is the latest entry into the Pikmin series, and it is coming to the Switch on the 21st of July, 2023.
Now, Pikmin, it's one of those series. Since it came out on the GameCube, I always thought, oh, that looks pretty good, that. And I've never actually played it. So I might give this a go. Although when I saw this and it popped up saying Pikmin 4, I was thinking, wasn't that long ago that Pikmin 3 came out on the Wii U? I know they'd done like an enhanced version on the Switch. I had a look. It was 2012, I think it was, or 2014.
The fact you said Wii U should have given you a bit of an inkling of when that came out.
I know, but I keep forgetting that the Switch is almost 6 years old.
Do you know what? Yeah, I can't blame you. One of my in-laws was playing a Pikmin on the Switch before, and it looks all right. Just not really sure it's one of my games.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
It does.
Now, talking about games which are a blast from the past, Samba de Amigo is back with Samba de Amigo Party Central.
This does look interesting. It's a pretty cool rhythm game, not gonna lie. Sat there with your Joy-Cons, going along with the beat at different angles. Looks pretty fun.
This is a game I had on the Dreamcast, and I actually regret getting rid of it, because I had the little maracas that you had to shake.
Oh, yeah.
And the new one, it looks very similar. So as you say, you use your little Joy-Cons and you're shaking them around as maracas. But it also looks like it's got some sort of Dance Central sort of strike a pose and do motions with them as well.
It's a good fun one, I think, especially for kids. If you got younger ones, I think they would really enjoy this. But it looks like a fun party game.
Yeah, they always have really upbeat and catchy tunes on them as well. So that's always a good thing. Now, this is coming to Nintendo Switch and it's coming this summer.
So this one, in all fairness to me, is a bit of a surprise one. Deadcells is having a cross with Castlevania DLC.
Well, I don't know how it's that much of a surprise. We've talked about this before.
Did we? Why do we speak about
Yes,
this?
we have.
I don't remember this conversation.
I suppose now that we're getting up towards 100 episodes, though, we're slowly getting there. It's starting to get harder and harder to remember what we've already talked about in the past.
How long ago did we talk about this?
I couldn't tell off the top of my head, but I'm saying maybe like November, December time, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, it's all blurred into one now, so...
Yeah.
But anyway, new DLC for Deadcells.
In this new DLC, you'll be able to play alongside iconic characters Victor Belmont and Alucard as you explore Dracula's castle, and you even get to pick up new weapons, including the legendary Vampire Slayer.
Also within this, you get 12 original covers and 51 songs from the Castlevania series.
Now, that'll definitely make Phil very happy because he's a massive fan of the Castlevania soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
Which he has all the right to be. They're always fantastic soundtracks.
Oh, 100%. So nostalgia will be there.
Now, anyone interested in this can actually pre-order it now, and it's available the 6th of March.
Less than a month then.
The next one, Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Now, this is actually a DS game that's getting the HD revival treatment.
This is a game that I never played, but I'm sorry, the story is flipping creepy as anything. You control a deceased detective that can possess items to solve the case, and that's the identity of your killer.
It's a bit of a puzzle game. So, for example, at the beginning, you've got to stop a killer from killing a woman.
Yeah.
And what you can do is that, like in a junkyard, you can actually possess the bike and make the wheels start spinning around so that the guy turns around to see what the noise was so the woman can run away. And as he gives chase, you can then possess, say, a crane and drop a car on him or something like that. So you interact to the world by possessing things, and through that have to solve all these mysteries, including how you died.
If you want to solve your murder, then give this a go.
And this will be available summer this year.
Now, the next game, Disney Illusion Island. I'm not sure on the styling of the characters. And it's not your classic sort of animation for these characters, is it?
Well, oddly enough, I have actually seen Elliot watch some Mickey Mouse cartoons that are in this exact style.
Oh, okay.
Now, when I originally saw this, I saw Disney Illusion Island and saw Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and I thought, oh, is this continuation of the Castle of Illusion, World of Illusion series that were from Sega Mega Drive? And I will admit, I was a little bit disappointed, but not too much when I saw the gameplay.
I reckon it will still be a fun game to play.
Oh, definitely.
So this game has co-op inside it as well. So you could do moves as like dropping a rope top with another player to a higher ledge and leapfrogging over each other to make longer jumps. So it looks like it'll be a good two-player game to play.
Well, the title is actually up to 4-player. And I don't know if it is or if it's me trying to make connections, but the part where one of the characters drops a rope down so the other one can climb up may be taken directly from World of Illusion.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't think it's a coincidence. It seems very specific to be a coincidence. But I do think it has got some callbacks to those older Mega Drive titles. And the way it looks like it plays like in Rayman Legends, which is a fun game. So it's not a bad thing. I think I was just looking for something a bit closer to those original Illusion series titles.
Like you said, it could be a bit of a nod back to it. So it's not a continuation, but they're using elements from the original Illusion titles in this.
Definitely. It just doesn't look like it'll play like those titles. It does look like it plays like Rayman Legends, which in itself isn't bad.
No, not at all.
It's just different.
So this game is available from the 23rd of July this year.
Right. Come on, we need to pick up the pace a little bit here. So we now are upgrading from our quick fire round to our rapid fire round.
Just blitzing them.
So let's get through some of these games, otherwise we're going to be here all night. So first one, Xenoblade Saga 3 is getting some new DLC.
Tron Identity, a new game coming out.
Deca Police, a crime fighting cyber detective game coming out.
Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and a Lost Demon. Is that the one where you get to control the demon and the character at the same time?
Yes, you control them both at the same time. It does actually have like quite a nice pop-up book sort of aesthetic, so that looks quite cool.
I thought it looked like a nice game.
Next title is Splatoon 3, getting 2 pieces of DLC, the first one that's coming out very soon.
Fire Emblem Engage expansion pass, which comes with some new characters.
Omega Strikers, a 3v3 air hockey style sports game that looks quite fun.
Minecraft Legends, which we spoke about before.
Mega Man Battle Network Collection, a collection of the Mega Man Battle Network titles from the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS.
A remaster of Tales of Symphonia.
Fantastic game. Mario Kart 8 is getting new tracks because this is the game that refuses to die.
I don't know. Anyway, he refused to die. I wasn't expecting you to say that. Bit harsh, I think, but you know. And last but not least for this one is Baton Kaitos 1 and 2 HD Remaster, which is a GameCube card-based RPG.
Yeah, this is one of those games that I saw on the GameCube. It was like, oh, an RPG, and then saw card-based. And I was like, nah.
I quite like those sort of games.
Maybe I'll give it a go second time round. Now that we've got a massive chunk of games out the way, we've still got a mountain to climb. And the first step on that mountain is Octopath Traveler 2.
Have you completed the first one yet?
Don't be stupid. Of course I haven't.
I knew what the answer was. I thought I'd ask it.
See, this is the problem. Instead of just going, oh, here's a new game, they're going, oh, here's 38 new games. This is why I can never get through all of these titles.
And most of them are RPGs.
I didn't complete Octopath Traveler, not because it was a bad game. And in all fairness, I probably have played through 100% of the game. It's just in 250% segments because I played through a load of it on the Switch. Then it came to the Xbox with achievements. I went, I'll start again.
And he got so far and thought, oh my days, what am I doing?
Yeah, I got over halfway both times. So surely that classes as 100% completion, yeah?
Yeah, but the issue is, okay, this is coming out on the 24th of February. So you've got what? About 3 weeks to play through and complete it? And then it comes out. But no, it's coming out on Switch, PS4, PS5, and Windows. So you'll be able to get it on the Xbox or at least on the PC in the Game Pass, hopefully, maybe.
Well, it's not coming to Xbox.
If it says Windows.
Yeah,
so
but it's not coming to Xbox. Okay. I think the Windows might be through Steam. Don't quote me on that.
You will end up picking this up.
I will. I need to complete Octopath Traveler and even Triangle Strategy as well.
You need to complete all those games you've got in your drawer, which will never happen.
I do. Now, even though I might not be picking this up straight away, there is actually a demo available, which is the first 3 hours of the game. What was that eye roll for?
Because this is going to be a repeat of the first one where you'll play over and over and over again, over-level your character, come to the game, but like, oh, so boring, too over-leveled.
Well, yeah, that's what happened with Triangle Strategy, isn't it?
Exactly. So I know what you like.
Unlike those games, you will be able to carry your save across to the main game.
Exactly. Hence why they eye roll.
Now, the next game is We Love Katamari Damacy, Reroll and Royal Reverie. This is a remake of, oddly enough, We Love Katamari.
This includes a couple of new modes. So you've got photo mode and some bonus levels.
And Nintendo Switch members can actually play a free trial of this between the 20th of February and 26th of February. The full game will launch 2nd of June on Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC.
Okay, following on, the next game I actually think looks pretty nice, which is called Sea of Stars. This is a top-down RPG where you get to go around and explore this open world.
Again, this is another title that we've talked about in the past. And this looks very much like the Super Nintendo classic Chrono Trigger in the way it plays. So that's always an exciting thing.
And I don't know why, but these sort of games always on the Switch. I feel like the Switch definitely suits these styles of games. The demo is out now, available on the Nintendo Switch if you'd like to try it. And it will be available from the 29th of August on the Switch, PlayStation, and PC.
Yet again, no love for Xbox.
Womp womp.
Now, the next one is the Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection. Now, these are Some of my favorite games actually from the DS and the 3DS.
I've never played them, so unfortunately, I can't give a review on the games, but it looks nice.
These are dungeon crawlers in pretty much the purest sense of the word.
I quite like how at one point they were like walking a balancer beam across menus down below, and they were kind of like trying to sneak past different parts. The dungeon crawling.
So you
side was
explore a
nice.
dungeon, and it's down to the point where on the DS and the 3DS, you would actually draw your own map on the bottom screen as you went along
Okay.
and mark where secret doors were, where treasure chests were, where farmable items grew.
Now, how would that work on the Switch?
And on this game, it looks like you've got the same sort of setup where you're using it on the touchscreen on the Switch. Although it does look like it's got some quality of life improvements for players who don't really want to do that, where you can auto map as you go along.
Okay, because I was about to say, how would you be able to do that if you was playing it on the dock, say?
Good point.
Just saying.
There's me thinking that they were just trying to be nice and kind for new players.
No, come on, because that map feature sounds fantastic. If you can only do it on the touchscreen, well, you can't really play on the dock, so they must have added something.
Now, the collection, as the name implies, is more than one title. So this will include Etrian Odyssey, Etrian Odyssey 2, and Etrian Odyssey 3, all as HD remasters. And if you wish, you can actually purchase these individually on the Nintendo eShop.
When you do purchase it, you can purchase them as of the 1st of June. So you're not got that long to wait. And they're on the Switch and PC.
Now, the next one is one that we talked about last week.
Yes, we finally have a release date for Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, which we've got a date of the 21st of April.
It looks like most of the rumors were correct. It didn't get shadow dropped, which we said last week we didn't think it would if it was still getting a physical release.
No, but you were saying there wouldn't be like a song and dance and everything else as well.
Well, yeah, it was just wedged in the middle of this Nintendo Direct, wasn't it? Now, when you asked me would I pick it up last week, and I said no because I believed it was going to be a full price game, it is a full price game.
Yeah.
I had a quick look on the Nintendo website, and it's $49.99.
That's a bit of an eye-watering price, seeing as they are remasters of a quite old game.
Not that just that it's remasters, because I'll touch on this a bit later on, but they're very basic games. Now, they might have this lovely coat of paint on them, but there's not an awful lot to the games. It's not to say they're not deep, they're just basic, and I don't think it's worth $49.99. As I said, £30 would be the absolute maximum I would be willing to pay, and even then, I'd second guess it.
I think the other part you can sort of argue against is the amount of other brand new games that are coming out. That price around that, well,
exactly.
How would someone want to buy this over a brand new game, whereas they could already own this, from previously?
Yes. No, absolutely. We're talking about loads of other remasters and remakes in this episode, and I think every single one of them is better value than Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp.
Exactly. So you would have thought with the amount of games they've got coming out, well, they'll be making those profit in them anyway, so just knock this one down to make sure it does sell as well as they want it to.
And talking about one of those remasters, the next one up is Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
I mean, who doesn't love a bit of Kirby? There's been quite a few remasters recently as well, hasn't there?
For Kirby?
Yeah.
There was a new Kirby game not long ago, though.
There was. I think there was a remaster not long before that as well.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I'm fairly certain this isn't the first time we've even got a remaster of Return to Dreamland.
Okay.
I have a feeling we've probably got one on the Wii U or the 3DS or something.
Are we going down the Final Fantasy route then?
Yeah. Now, this one, 4-player Kirby, you get a brand new epilogue once you complete the main story mode. And for those of you who are interested, there is actually a demo available which has a selection of specially selected 4-player stages and minigames.
Despite that, you haven't got that long to wait for the game. The game comes out on the 24th of February on the Switch.
Now, this next game genuinely did surprise me. Fantasy Life I, the Girl Who Stole Time.
When she runs around, I feel like I'm just looking at an amoeba running around, by the way.
Right. Have you ever played Fantasy Life by any chance on the 3DS?
No, I've not.
Me and Kerry absolutely love this game. Plays like classic Legend of Zelda sort of games.
Okay.
You make your little character and you then enroll them into a profession. So I played it with Kerry, and she went I can't remember the names of the classes, but like a hunter. So sword, shield, went out, hit things around the head until it died, and then dragged it back home. I went a blacksmith. So I increased profession in blacksmith. And as she was going out and she was killing the enemies and bringing bits back, I was getting more experience in making higher end equipment for her, better than what she could purchase from the shop.
So you can then equip her better so you can go out and fight other things.
And once I got good enough as a blacksmith, I then become a miner so I could go out and mine better ores to then bring back to then smith into better equipment. By the time I'd maxed them out, then I went the hunter. I was already kitted out in all the best gear that you could get, all legendary gear and stuff. And we did actually play this with Phil as well. I believe there was like 8 different jobs that you could do, like herbalist, healers, rangers. And it was a really good game. And I was gutted once we'd gone through and we'd maxed out all 8 classes.
Well, don't worry, because this game is coming out this year.
Only problem is I'll have to buy 2 copies so me and Kerry can play it again. That's a lot of games, and we still got many, many more to go. But before we do, I'd like to take a moment to ask for your help. If you're enjoying this episode, we ask that you take just a minute to leave us an honest review on your favourite podcasting app.
Alternatively, if you're able to, you can join our Patreon for as little as £1 per month, where you will receive an ad-free version of the podcast and even get a shout out on our next episode.
Now we're into the big hitters.
You thought that part took long. Wait till the next part comes in. That's if we don't ramble at least. Jumping straight in, first off, the Game Boy is finally coming to Nintendo Switch Online. I've been waiting for it, I've been wanting it. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. However, they're not the games I want.
What you mean is it's not Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, no, it's not. But yes. Yes, I'm disappointed. Not going to lie, there is a good lineup of games coming, and they did say more games are coming out. So I'm forever hopefully it will happen. And as soon as it does, I'll be like, yeah, I'm getting back into that. But for now, I'm holding on.
Yeah, this is a good selection of games. So we've got Mario Land 2.
Zelda's Link's Awakening DX.
Tetris. You've got to have Tetris.
Always. Gargoyle's Quest.
Game & Watch Gallery 3.
Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare.
Metroid 2, Return of Samus.
Wario Land 3.
And Kirby's Dream Land.
Now, what I liked the most about these is that there is 3 different filters for these games. Game Boy Pocket, and Game Boy Color. So you can switch between them all, which gives you either the color or the classic look.
What, smeary green?
Oh, well, the thing is, it's just nostalgia. You're used to playing it in that smeary green color or nice, pretty colors.
You're not playing Mario Land properly if you can't see what you're doing because the whole screen's just smeared.
No.
And on top of that, the games that support it, such as Tetris, you can actually play in 2-player either locally or online.
Yes, I'm guessing they'll be doing the same as what they've done for like GoldenEye.
Well, unlike something like GoldenEye, where you can cheat and look at someone else's screen, the Game Boy, you had your own screens each. So I'm assuming your opponent can't see what you're doing on your screen.
No, very true.
And they've also announced a few more titles that will be coming and give us a hint at what some of those could be.
Yes, and the first one is Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons.
And Oracle of Ages.
Pokemon trading card game. See, I'm holding out hope still.
There you go. You got a Pokemon game, just not the one you wanted.
I remember this one.
And he seems to be popping up quite an awful lot this episode. Kirby Tilt and Tumble.
That might be the last mention. I don't know. We'll see.
It's quite interesting that we're getting Tilt and Tumble because that cartridge actually had a gyroscope. Obviously, the Switch has it built in, but it was nice to see Nintendo pick some of the less common titles. Again, like Pokemon trading card game as well.
I remember having this game. I remember playing this, and I absolutely loved this game. So
again, I saw Pokemon. I was like, oh, Pokemon card game. I was like, no.
I'm still holding hope because it's not just red, blue, yellow. It's also gold, crystal, and silver. So
Yeah. And these games are a mix of classic Game Boy and Game Boy Color titles as well.
I do like how these are added to the basic online pack, though. You don't have to pay for the expansion pack for this at all.
Yes. Although, speaking about that, if you did want to flash the cash and pay for the Plus expansion pack, we are also getting Game Boy Advance coming to Switch Online.
I think this is another step in the right direction for people wanting to do the expansion pack. I feel like you added N64, yeah, okay, get it. But adding Game Boy Advance games is the right way to go.
Yes. And don't forget, you also get Mega Drive games.
Yes. Sorry. Also get Mega Drive games. But however, there's still no Pokemon. So I'm still bitterly disappointed.
Do you know what? It was odd because we were talking about this yesterday before the Nintendo Direct, and you were saying that you really hope that they're going to bring Ruby and Sapphire across. And I said, there's no way they'll do that.
There's rumors about it.
Right. I didn't see the rumors, but I was like, no, there's no way they'll do that. The only way they'd do that is if they ever brought Game Boy Advance games, and they'd only do that by putting it into Nintendo Online. And lo and behold, later on that day, they've announced that Game Boy Advance games are coming to Nintendo Online.
Told you.
Yeah, but you still not got your Pokemon, have you?
Shut up. They'll come soon, all right?
Well, speaking of which, should we go through what games you do get?
Yes. So first of all, we've got Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers 3, which includes 38 extra levels originally released on the Nintendo e-reader accessory.
Yep, so no scanning barcodes to get them here. Next one is WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games.
Kururin.
The spinning stick simulator.
It looks so strange.
And then next up is Mario Kart Super Circuit, the first handheld Mario Kart game.
Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Saga?
Sega. Yeah, you're getting your companies mixed up a little bit there. That was the start of kind of the Mario RPG-ish sort of games, which weren't actually Mario RPG. And yet another Legend of Zelda, the Minish Cap. We're getting an awful lot of Legend of Zelda bits here, aren't we?
We are, I feel, and a lot of Mario stuff.
Oh yeah, Mario's a given though, isn't he?
Oh no. But yeah, Legend of Zelda, I am interested because I would like to play through the Legend of Zelda games. I said to you before, after playing Link's Awakening, and then obviously I've completed the most recent Zelda game, I do fancy go back to some of the older ones.
Yes. The only other game that I've completed in the Zelda series except A Link to the Past is Link's Awakening.
Okay.
So I definitely have a preference to the 2D Zelda games, so I might give this one a go next. Again, you'll be able to play up to 4 players on supported games on either local or Nintendo Online. And we do have, again, a tease of other games to come, including Metroid Fusion.
Here comes Kirby again in Kirby and the Amazing Mirror.
Fire Emblem.
F-Zero, Maximum Velocity.
And one of my favourite RPGs from the system, Golden Sun.
So not only are these all coming, and they're being released, they're available now. They dropped them straight after the Direct yesterday.
Just really quickly before we move on, the only thing that puts me off this is you can't buy these games individually to keep it. If you want access to these, you need to continue your Nintendo Online subscription. So what happens in 5 more years when Nintendo decide that they want to take down the Nintendo Switch eShop? You're going to lose access to all these titles.
You know what I think they should do? I don't think they will ever do it, and it's just me saying it, but I think they should release a collection of all these games they've got in the Nintendo Switch Online and Expansion Pass. As Karch is saying, Nintendo 64 collection, Game Boy collection. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm not being funny. We've got the Atari 50th collection, which has got 100 titles on it. I'm sure Nintendo could shove 20 Game Boy or Game Boy Advance games or N64 games onto a cartridge, and that would be a much better use of $49.99 than Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp.
Exactly.
And I don't mean to throw dirt all over that game. It's just, it's not a good value.
No, and if they even release 3 games with 20 each on each card, and if they're a good selection of games, people will pick them up.
Oh, absolutely. The thing is, if you do like Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, people like me who need to have numbered entries in a series that they'll never play will buy them.
Just because they need to look pretty.
Yeah,
I've got 1 and 2. I have to have 3.
absolutely. I've got the Neo Geo Pocket Collection Volume 1, and I'm really considering getting Volume 2, even though all the games on it are absolute garbage, just because I can't just have Volume 1 on its own. It doesn't
We've
make
said this time and
sense.
time again, you can.
I can't. Moving on to another unexpected but also expected announcement by Nintendo. Samus is coming back with Metroid Prime Remastered.
This looks fantastic. Not gonna lie. I really like the look of this game. So this is the first Metroid Prime game from the GameCube that's been remastered for the Nintendo Switch. And it looks better than I thought it would do.
In all fairness, back on the GameCube, the game actually looked really good.
Yeah. So maybe can't really compare as much, but I think they've done a good job. And I mean, we were talking to one of the guys at work, and he's really excited for this as well.
Yet again, we have talked about this in the past.
Yes.
I was actually expected either them to bring out the Metroid Trilogy Remastered, or at least bring out Metroid Prime, Prime 2, and Prime 3 Remastered individually. We have got Metroid Prime 4 announced for the Switch, which we don't know when it's coming, but it is apparently being developed.
Who said 2 and 3 aren't coming?
Well, they've not been announced, and they'd have to hurry up if they want to get it before Metroid Prime 4, which I assume is coming out in the next year or two.
Yeah, but they obviously announced 4. Didn't they announce this after 4?
Yeah, this was only announced today, Metroid Prime.
So 2 and 3 must be on their way. If this was Shadow dropped.
Hopefully. Now, anyone who's interested in this can actually pick it up right now if you want the digital copy from the Nintendo eShop, or you can pick up the physical copy from the 22nd of February.
So, like most remastered games, they have remastered and given an updated control scheme. However, you can go back to the original if you prefer.
And everyone will be glad to know that scanning every single inch of the entire planet is still a feature.
Something tells me that was a bit of sarcasm.
Yeah, some people love it. Some people are normal and didn't. However, what I will say is this remaster is $34.99. So how on earth is this £35, yet Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp is £50? I'm sorry to keep banging on about it, but this just shows that even Nintendo don't know what they're doing with the value of their games.
No, it makes sense. It does make sense. Your reasoning makes sense, not the fact that the price difference. That's just absolute bonkers. But we never had the price for Advance Wars back when it was announced. Maybe they've upped it due to the delays and everything else.
I don't know. I am fairly certain at some point we were told it was going to be a full price release, because that has always been living in my head since knowing about it.
Well, do you know what? Talk about full price releases. I think the last game is the only game in this list that should be a full price game.
What is it, Sonic Frontiers?
Flip me. You can't go an episode without mentioning Sonic Frontiers. No, get that in your head. We're going back to Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. We finally have a release date for the game, which, again, was a bit of a surprise.
And it's a lot closer than we expected.
Oh, yeah. And it's coming out on the 12th of May. 12th of May, we were thinking, it won't come out until just about the crossover from maybe the Switch to the Switch 2, something like that. No, it's coming out in, 3 months' time?
And it does look pretty good. And I will say, obviously, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a complete rip-off of Sonic Frontiers with the open world that you can explore and the grind rails,
Stop
complete
talking.
rip-off. I know. But if you don't hold that against it, it does look pretty good. Now, I'm no Legend of Zelda expert, and I might be wrong, but it does look like it's a direct continuation of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yes, for as far as I'm aware, it is direct continuation. And I'm really excited for this game because I did complete Breath of the Wild and I would like to pick this up.
It does look like it's maybe got a bit of a darker sort of tone to it, though.
Yes.
I don't think it'll be a game that I'll pick up, though.
I think I would look to.
Well, you completed Breath of the Wild, didn't you?
Yes.
Now, Breath of the Wild was the first Switch game I got, and I really enjoyed it. But You give me too much freedom. I get distracted, and then I get bored, and then I get a couple more Switch games that I need to start playing.
Well, that's just a constant thing for you. My issue with this is like most open world games, I play it, I do a good load of progression, wander off, then go, I don't know what I'm doing. Play another game, then come back to it later. So,
And you still don't know what you're doing.
I did figure out at the end. Thank you very much, mister. So, just quickly, I've actually got two things to bring up. One is, you've got vehicles, you can drive a car. What is that all about? You can build a drive a car around? I don't quite know how this works. Yeah, there's a bit in the trailer where he is driving a car around.
Well, doesn't he get a motorbike in Breath of the Wild in the DLC or something?
He does, but he doesn't have to build it. This thing, he pulls a wheel out of like, a bit of a pond or swamp or something, puts it together, and then he's driving around a map on a car.
Fair enough.
With headlights. And at the end, he's jumping towards Zelda. Why does Zelda look just like Link? She's wearing very, very similar clothes.
Yeah, it's probably just like customary clothing that they wear. I'm pretty certain they wear either very similar style of clothing in Breath of the Wild or the exact same clothing in Breath of the Wild, actually.
Wait, so you know how we said this looks quite dark? Okay.
Yeah.
Quite dark. It's called Tears of the Kingdom. It sounds like Link gets into dire peril at some point when Zelda talks to him. Could Link die?
Link is always in dire peril.
I know, but Tears of the Kingdom, well, they're crying for Link dying?
No, I don't think so. Who's going to cry for Link? He's got the personality of a potato. If anyone's going to die, I actually reckon it's going to be Zelda.
Yeah, but it's called Zelda. I don't see them ever.
Yeah, Zelda's not in every single Zelda game.
I know.
It's not in Link's Awakening, for example.
What would you do if they killed off Zelda or Link or both?
Ultimately, it wouldn't really matter because in most of the games, it's a different incarnation of Link and Zelda. There's very few of the titles, as far as I'm aware, that are direct continuations from previous ones.
Oh, so what if he dies?
So if he does die, it's not going to break the game. The next game can still be Legend of Zelda, and it will just be a different setting, a different Zelda, a different Link, possibly a different
Warriors and Hyrule Warriors 2, that was the same Link.
Yes, so Hyrule Warriors 2 is definitely the same one from Breath of the Wild, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I can't remember if Hyrule Warriors 1 was the same one, though.
Okay. Now, one thing I do like about this is that there is a collector's edition coming, and a new amiibo is also coming alongside with the game.
Do people still collect amiibos?
Do I?
No, just people in general.
Oh, I know my brother's got like, I don't know, 30 of them. So, yeah.
Well, I own my Sonic the Hedgehog amiibo, and Kerry actually owns, I think, 4 or 5 Yoshi amiibos.
We've got 2, but I do fancy a Pokemon amiibo. Not
right. Kerry's amiibos that she's got are pretty good. So there's like a normal Yoshi amiibo, but then she's got the knitted ones, and she's got, I think it's a green, a blue, and a pink one. But then she's also got a giant one as well.
Is it actually registered as an amiibo as well?
Yeah, you scan the button, everything, and it works. Yeah, the little RFID things in the bum.
Okay, let me just scan it. Let me just put, this control to his ass.
I'm surprised we got there, but we're at the end of the episode. We've ran out of games to talk about in the Nintendo Direct. Although I do have one last piece of news, which is not related to Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I'm surprised we got through them so quick, but please elaborate.
Anyone who's interested, on Steam right now, there is up to 75% off Sonic the Hedgehog titles.
Oh, for flip's sake. Oh, jeez. You can't.
So, yeah, good time to get some Sonic games on Steam. I needed to get that in there. That was breaking news.
This is not sponsored or endorsed by Sega. Barry is just completely obsessed with Sonic.
Hey, no, I am not going to buy any of those titles.
Could you already own them 5 times each?
That's beside the point. Right. Well, we got there. We got there in the end. Some pretty good games. I personally am quite interested in Fancy Life just because me and Kerry used to love playing that on the 3DS.
Oh, I just want Tears of the Kingdom. I do fancy playing that game.
Well, not long to wait for any of them.
Yes.
And just before we go, anyone who's looking for any games to play over this weekend, go out. There is so many demos available, many of which you can carry across progress into the game if you do buy it. You could spend all weekend playing games without paying a single penny.
Well, yeah, exactly. And one of those demos is Mass Builders on Steam. So if you want to try it out, go on Steam, try Mass Builders. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
I'm Anthony, and this is the end of this week's episode. If you'd like to find out more about anything mentioned, then please take a look at the show notes. We've been the Retro Gaming Dads, and we'll see you next time.